Hello everybody, welcome to The Nest. This is a brilliant facility near Norwich City Airport. It's also the home of Norwich City Women. Please ignore this on my face. It's the month charity effort. You can join the dots in there. I've just watched Norwich City Women beat Sutton Coldfield 3-2 here. Really dramatic FA Cup second round clash, 2 penalties relatively late on. It was 88 minutes on the clock and Norwich City were trailing this game 2-1. Natasha Snelling scored a really good equalising goal, beat the keeper before just cutely lobbing it over her to equalise. Sutton Coldfield then went down the other end and scored from a scruffy set piece from a Norwich City perspective. But from thereafter, I thought Norwich were fully in control of this game, fully in command of this game, and it was 2 penalties late on, both dispatched by Megan Todd, who was excellent, really providing an attacking thrust in the second half to win this one and to book Norwich City's place in the third round draw, which takes place on Monday. Within that draw comes kind of championship clubs, so to speak, some full-time women's teams as well, which would obviously be fantastic, particularly if Norwich City could get a home draw. It's then the fourth round where we see the Super League teams come in, the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, Manchester City, all the biggest teams in the land. Of course, I think there are more than a few people here who would like a Manchester City FA Cup fourth round tie, but of course Norwich City will have to get past whoever is next and whoever awaits them next in the draw. This performance was, well, it took a little while to get going. I thought Norwich lacked a little bit of cohesion. Just spoke to Sean Howes after the game. He felt that their shape was a little bit too deep, which meant they were trying to play the ball through Sutton Coldfield, and because their shape was so deep, probably lacking sufficient bodies to make up the ground to sustain attacks. I would probably agree with that. I think they lacked a little bit of cohesion as well in attacking areas. Credit to Sutton Coldfield, who are a tier below Norwich, but probably on the evidence of what we saw today should be a step 4 side, a tier 4 side, and should be on par with Norwich. This was an even contest, particularly in the first half. They made the most of transitions, were really good on the counter attack, scored one excellent goal, but had a couple of opportunities before that. Really good on the counter. This is the first ever time in their history that they've made the FA Cup second round, so a credit to them and a credit to the work that they put in today. It was a really good performance against a Norwich team that have been going really well. And actually, the last time I was here, I can't remember what the game was, but it was towards the end of last season, and it was before they went on a pretty good run of form to actually keep them in the fourth tier. There was a point where it looked like they were going to get relegated, particularly after what was a defeat the last time I was here. And actually, you compare that and contrast that with what you see now when you come to this place, and there's optimism, energy, enthusiasm. They play some really progressive, really good possession-based football on the floor. They work the ball really well. They've got some really talented players. And actually, you look at the team, not too much has changed in terms of personnel. The manager is the same. The players are largely the same. There's a bit more competition. I think Katie Knight's in midfield is a wonderful footballer. Megan Todd is always a threat from attacking areas. Tash Snelling is relentless up front. They've got some really, really good players, really good young players. And actually, in contrast perhaps maybe with the men's team, when you go and watch them at the moment, there's a really good feeling around what they're doing, a really good togetherness. And what I saw today was young girls, young boys standing, looking at these Norwich City players as role models. They're approachable, they're personable, they're willing to sign everything, to have photos. There were 11 mascots here today as well. It all feels like it's going in the right direction, and actually it needed to do that because as I've just said to my colleague at Radio Norfolk, Jack McLean, who also has covered our games this season, Norwich are a little bit behind the curve in terms of their women's team and their women's game and where they should be, particularly when you look at the progress, for example, that Ipswich Town have made. They've signed a professional player, more than one professional player now. They've played games at Portman Road. There, of course, have been sort of various funding reasons behind that, but Norwich City are playing catch-up, and I think they're willing to do that. And what you've got here is a really good group of players who are really determined to make this season a real success, and you can sense that, and you can sense that they've got a crowd here. This was their second highest attendance of the season at the Nest. Obviously, along come Norwich and the Canaries Trust put on a free coach from Carrow Road to bring some people up to watch it in support, which is brilliant. You've got the flags here, you've got banners behind the goal. It feels like a proper home now, which maybe it didn't, or maybe it felt less of a home when I came to watch them towards the end of last season, and they deserve a huge amount of credit for the performance that they showed today. It was a testament to their character, to their momentum, to their confidence that they've established. They're second in the league, 3 points behind #United, and they're hoping to make this season a really successful one. And to add to that, a cup run obviously would help boost the profile, I just hope. And I wrote a piece about this, I think for Saturday's paper it went in, about how the next step for the women needs to be a game at Carrow Road, and actually FA Cup progression might make that a necessity if they get to the fourth round and get a really attractive draw. But also it would be nice if there was a step before that, and for me this game felt like an opportunity. Obviously it hasn't happened, I'm sure it hasn't happened for very good reasons, but with Norwich obviously in Tampa, Norwich's men's team in Tampa, it would have presented an opportunity for the women, and you know, they don't have to play there every week, but I think on the odd occasion it would certainly be really good, not just for Norwich City but also for Norfolk football, for those young female fans who are here today, to see some of those players playing on the biggest stage. And actually this group of players deserve that. They deserve their moment in the sun. Some of them have played through some really tough times. Sean Howes said it after the game. Some of them could have walked away. They could have quit last season when the going got tough. They didn't, because of their love for the football club, for their love of the sport. And they're now all reaping the rewards of that. And I couldn't be happier for what is a really, really good group of people, beyond anything else. And they're being rewarded with really good league form, but also cup progress as well. They're a very good team. If you haven't got down here to the Nest to come and watch them play, I would encourage you strongly to do so. It's a brilliant atmosphere. It's a brilliant group of girls, and they're making real progress and real strides. And it's really good for Norfolk football. It's really good for Norwich City to have a women's team that's competitive and thriving. It's cold. You can read a lot more of the coverage, including those interviews with Sean Howes and Megan Todd, on the relevant Pink and channels once they're up, which will be over the next few days. We'll of course have coverage of the third round draw as well, which takes place on Monday, as does the men's FA Cup third round draw. So we'll find out where Norwich City are going. Kingsley and Town, of course, were beaten by Stevenage yesterday, so they won't be in that draw. So the FA Cup is always interesting, isn't it? So let's see how that transpires. I hope you're all enjoying the break. It's been nice to watch some World Cup action. Been nice to quietly grow this. I'm pleased that there's anything there at all, but it will be coming straight off when December hits, which is a positive. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. Thank you very much, and we will see you again very, very soon.